What is up, you guys? It's your favorite tarot reader, and I am back with another read. Okay, honey, period. Period. I am taking personal readings. You guys can cash at me at Money Sign Caprice Cooks. You can also email me or Apple Pay me at capricecooks@icloud.com. Alright, I work on energy. Energy is fluid, so this could be about you. This could be about the person that you're thinking about or anybody's thinking about you. Also, time is an illusion, so this could be about the past, the present, or the future, but somehow it's affecting you right now, okay? Okay. So, it is 10:46, equal 10:10. Thank you, Mr. Masters. And it is 4:16 over there on my stove. Feel free to look up any angel numbers mentioned in this video, okay? Alright, Spirit Guides, City Master, so family, twin flame family, please be here with me at this time, helping me receive a message to deliver to my Virgos for April 1st through the 7th for my Virgos. It's crazy because a Virgo gave me this necklace, so that's probably why I decided to wear this at this point in time, because I had this on all day. But I must be tapping into some kind of Virgo energy. I'm hearing like intrusive energy, like somebody could be like intruding in on your energy, like feeling like they missed a chance with you, or like feeling like they didn't get you, or like they could be pulling on your energy, like making you think about them, or it could be something that you need to release about them. I got a feeling it. I'm a villain in my city, so I feel like somebody got like a bad rep around their city, like somebody is just looked at as like the bad person. Like everybody's outlook on this person is just bad or negative or false, to be honest, because I feel like whoever this like false villain is, I feel like this person is actually like a softie, a good person. A person who plays with their hair a lot when they're trying to like communicate with spirit. A person who kind of just like plays in their hair, touches their hair. I'm hearing like they don't know that they're connecting to spirit, but they are. I feel like people have been telling you stuff about this person, and it's kind of like, don't do it, 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 don't do it. And it's just kind of like, I can beat the odds. I don't know. I feel like your family has been doubting you, or people in your life has been doubting you. The people in your city, the people in your hometown, maybe even. This is like some kind of come up, some kind of like investment that you've invested your time in, your energy, your love, your commitment. I feel like this project is your baby, whatever it is. I'm hearing somebody could be closing on a home, moving into a home. Moving into their dream home, I just heard. Somebody could be going into realty, like you want to be a realtor, but it's kind of like now you got to take your classes online or something like that, and you're trying your best to like go with the flow. I'm hearing somebody is trying their best to like go with the flow of like this quarantine or whatever, but it's kind of like leading them towards their destiny, and they're trying to like control the situation. But I feel like God is telling you like now is the time to release all those control issues. It's some card up in here that's that talks about control issues. So I'm gonna use this deck, and I think they telling me to use this deck too. But yeah, I feel like going with the flow is gonna lead you towards your destiny. I feel like maybe you don't think your intuition is like on point, but I feel like the anxiety is what's making you feel like your intuition isn't on point. But the steps that you're actually taking, like you feel like you're not listening to your intuition, really you just not listening to illusion, you're not listening to anxiety, and you're actually following your passion. I almost said Pisces, so you could be dealing with the Pisces. Your parents could be a Pisces, or somebody in your family who is transforming. Like you could be changing your relationship with somebody, could be putting an end into a relationship with somebody. It could be even like expanding communication with somebody. This could be like seeing somebody every day, being around somebody every day. Y'all are in a quarantine. This is like you being around your peoples every day, and just kind of like enriching the benefits of like communication and talk therapy and talking to each other and getting shit out, and like engaging in transformation, like watching your soul family, your soul tribe, your peoples transform. Like this is a coming together. This is a family expansion. This is going towards your destiny, your soul family, your soul tribe, your mission. I feel like during this little solitude time, if you look at this, like, I don't know, I can't explain it how I'm seeing it, but it looks so compact. Like, it's like a whole world, right? But this thing is like it's like too big for the world. It's kind of like I'm hearing I'm a first one. I'm a little mama good all by herself. But baby, you make me better. I don't know what song I'm channeling. Like I know it's like a Neo song or something like that, but like I can't think of it at the moment. But I'm feeling like this is like a coming together, like a union of sorts, like kind of like commitments, like solidifying relationships, so solidifying friendships, like if you are communicating with people, kicking it with people, going out with people, this is getting outside your house and kind of like gardening or doing something like inviting your friends over to maybe garden outside or something like that, like do vision board parties or have fun or kick it. Like I feel like this is also like reading more, getting more into like stimulating your mind and doing stuff and like doing things with your time to kind of keep your mind going. I'm hearing like geometry, like maybe you're really good at math, or maybe you're really good at like marketing, or maybe you have a hidden talent that you haven't tapped into that it's time for you to tap into. I'm also hearing like vocals, just like singing, like very, very musical, very kind of just like in a zen. It feels like once you quiet your mind, you can really receive those answers as to what your mission work is, as to what your next step is, as to what you're supposed to be doing, how you're supposed to get there. I feel like your steps are being ordered, but it's kind of like, it's like because you can't foresee the steps, and you just kind of like, trying to tap your foot and like see like, okay, is this the right step? Like it feels kind of like not really, it feels like being blindfolded, but trusting. I'm seeing somebody being like led to a surprise, like in the bedroom or something. I don't know, it look real cute, real romantic, but yeah, it's just kind of like trust. That's what it feels like, trust. It feels like trust. It feels like coming into trust, talking to somebody, getting to know them, understanding that they are a part of your destiny. Like understanding that just because you got the time to be in a house doesn't mean that you can't expand your dreams, right? It doesn't mean you can't expand your positivity and release yourself from energies that maybe you didn't know that you were harboring. Other people's energy. 33 think you're in the masters. You could have been harboring people energy from work, and maybe you're not working no more. You could have been harboring people energy from just being around them every day. Friends and shit that you was always kicking it with, that maybe you're not kicking it with no more like that. Also, I feel like a lot of like enthusiasm towards relationships are forming because people don't have nothing but time. I feel like this was supposed to be like, well, they want you to think like it's for population control. But if you think about it, if they giving us all this time in our house, what the fuck do they think we finna be doing other than fucking? So I feel like babies are being made at this time, so be careful. I feel like y'all should be wrapping it up. I feel like we should be protecting ourselves, not only spiritually, but physically, not only like with disinfecting, but also just kind of like protecting ourselves from like everything. Like if being pregnant is not something that you want, wrap it up, like period. But I feel like we are coming into a position of spring. Spring is all about giving birth. So a lot of people could be giving birth and could be very fearful during this time. Do not bring your baby into the world into fear. I feel like this message is to tell y'all to like, if you're finna have a baby, like just relax yourself, figure out ways to balance out your chakras. I'm hearing that like the chakras are needing to be balanced and worked on right now. The heart, the throat, and the crown. I feel like a lot of you guys are like ready for love. A lot of you guys are really ready for that genuine love, and I don't mean romantic love necessarily. I mean all around the board. When you have that genuine self-love for yourself, you just attract things that you will love. And I feel like by you going with the divine flow of life, with you eating your leaves and changing your diet and changing the way that you approach life, the way that you perceive life, the way that you perceive your water emotions, could be dealing with the water sign, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, but the way that you perceive the lessons that you have learned, the way that you perceive how things are coming about is transforming. It's changing with this Pluto card here, right? I feel like coming into renewal, like using your inner resources, using the resources that God has given you, tapping into the powers that you have. This is practicing your powers. You know, if you have to, like, if you have a friend or something, practice telepathy. You know, try to read each other's mind. I feel like communication, spiritual communication, is so important right now, because with us being in quarantine, I feel like it's a lot that is being downloaded into us right now, because 1010, thank you, Ascended Masters. Why? Because we have that space to do that. We have that time to be alone with ourselves and to sit with ourselves to do that. Now, if you are distracting yourself with, like, I don't know, if you distracting yourself with certain things, like, I mean, only the strong are going to survive. So you got to ask yourself, am I going to distract myself from my healing process that's going to make me strong enough to fight this? Or am I going to communicate with myself, with my spirit guides, with my ascended masters, to talk about how by summertime I can be the version of myself that I truly want to be, the me that I'm walking into? This is like gambling. I'm hearing like gambling your life away with the decisions that you're making at this time. It's kind of like being ready for that renewal, being ready for that trade of energy, that exchange, that feeling of the old me has died. I've learned those lessons. 1111, thank you to the masters. You know, this is being generous with yourself and giving yourself the abundance of love, the abundance of self-care, taking those extra baths, drinking that hot tea. You know, tapping into that meditation and eating those healthy foods, fasting, right? Being disciplined within yourself. You know, there are certain things that you can't get. There are certain foods that you can't eat right now. I feel like our bodies are needing to be disciplined in order to usher in new blessings. There's a lot of things that have to be purged out coming into the age of Aquarius. We are coming into a whole new lifetime. It may not seem like it, but we are coming into a whole new period of life. Like, this right now is history being made in the making. The quarantine type shit, right? This, like, it's wild if you think about it, but we are in the midst of history that will be written for the years to come. We had a fucking quarantine. You know, and you can think like, oh, you know, this will just disappear. It's just like all those other things, but we are literally quarantined and confined spiritually to our journeys. We are being confined to our journeys. We are being confined to our healing. 33, thank you, Ascended Masters. It's not up to us anymore. It's Judgment Day. It's no longer up to you whether you're going to heal or not. God is saying, like, you have no choice. Pick a side. Like, I feel like we're being asked to, like, show what we're made of. Like, to show our strength. Like, you know, to question everything. To protect ourselves spiritually and mentally, but to not allow fear to creep in. I have no fears about this virus at all. I have no fears concerning any of it, because that's the illusion, that we have something to fear, that we have something to, I don't know, not want to think about, not want to do, or whatever. I don't know what that, I just got a message from somebody and it threw me off. But she is an earth sign. She's a Taurus, and she's pregnant. So I feel like this is giving lectures. This is like giving lectures, like talking to people, ministering to people, being like, look, you know, like, you can vent to me, like, you can talk to me, because 9 times out of 10, I've been through it. And if I haven't been through it, I can relate to it, or I can understand it, or I can have compassion for it. You know, this is breaking down the barriers. This is talking about the deep shit that you haven't talked about with anybody. Why? Because you have time with your people. It's like you got time with your best friends. You got time with, you know, your cousins and your family members and your mom and your dad, or your significant other, your husband, your wife, your kids. You have time with these people to kind of like dig deep. So it's kind of like, what are you going to use this time for? What are you doing with this time? Are you doing something with this time to expand your life, to expand your position, to expand what you're going to do in this lifetime?